All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. This week's guest is someone that anybody who's been following USL Championship specifically, even a little bit for the last couple seasons, will know well. And I suspect everyone else will probably hear a lot more about him before too long. Welcome in Phillip Goodrum of FC Tulsa. Thanks for hopping on. How you doing today, sir?
That's right. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great. Just hanging out in the Tulsa, Oklahoma heat.
I don't know if it's worse or better than the Chicago Heat. But you think it's worse or better?
Well, it says 98 here right now. I don't know about
That's
all
bad.
the humidity, but yeah, it's toasty.
I was gonna say Chicago doesn't compare on just sort of heat, but maybe we got you on humidity. I don't know. I don't know what the Tulsa humidity is like.
Well, all I know is going to college in Wilmington on the beach, that was humid, so I don't think I'll ever get that bad again. Thank goodness.
Okay, so it's all downhill from there, or
That's
uphill. I don't
right.
know how that saying goes. All right, you got to give us the backstory on the Shiner. You got a little raccoon eye going on right there. What's going on?
Yeah, I got a little shiner. No bar fight. Sorry to get everyone's
I
hopes up.
figured I figured Tommy might have given you maybe you gave Tommy a little lip and he gave you a
That's
right
right.
hand.
No, we played a game last weekend against RGV in like 75th minute. Ball pops up in the air, and one of their players just raised his boots all the way up, man. Stud straight to the side of my eye. One stud here, the other up here. Straight red for this fella, and man, it did not feel very good. A nice little blood gushing out, but I'll survive. A
And
little school.
a win makes the hurt go away. I suppose a little bit. Did you get like an apology? Was there an apology after it or after
No,
the game?
I got accused of diving at first, and then when they saw the pool of blood in my hands, I think they're like, "Oh shit, maybe not." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, here we go." No,
That's
but it was all good. Whatever it takes to get 3 points, man. We'll get the job done.
There it is. There it is. That's PR 101 for all the kids out there. Now, as I said, USL fans know all about you. You've been one of the best strikers in the league for a couple of years now. But let's give everybody else, a quick lay of the land on who you are, what you're all about, how you got to Tulsa, that sort of thing. As I stop my phone from ringing over here. So you grew up in Tennessee. You played your
Yep.
college ball, as you mentioned, at UNC Wilmington. 58 goals, I believe, in 106 games. Not so shabby. You're drafted by Falcons FC, as I call them. Sorry, long story, but that's what we go with around here. You bounce between the first and second team a little bit. Then you moved to Memphis 901 in the USL Championship that was in 2022, early 2022,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so
That was
you
good.
killed it last season. I can't remember, 21 goals. I think you're the second leading scorer in the league. Obviously had an awesome season. And then in May, and I'm skipping over a fair amount of stuff here, but then in May, you got traded to Tulsa and you basically continued scoring goals left and right. So did I forget anything? Did I leave anything out?
Yeah, I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, but then my whole childhood was spent in Charlotte, actually. So
Okay.
I claim Charlotte and played academy there, and that's the connection that led to me going to school over there at Wilmington. Yeah, and
Okay.
then years
Wilmington makes a lot of
Atlanta,
sense.
Memphis, and now Tulsa.
Okay. So that was obviously the 5,000 foot overview of,
Uh-huh.
of your sort of, the life of Phillip Goodrum so far. But there's two big things I really want to get into today. The first is really basic. It's just give people a sense of who you are so that, when you become, big and famous, we can claim you as part of Sam Fam and not just, part of Sam Fam, but part of the distinguished echelon of Sam Fam's goal scorers union, which obviously creme de la creme right there. So that's number one. And then number two is we want to I got to talk about this situation with Memphis 901 and basically why I assume you ended up getting traded in May, because it sounds like it was a bit of a thorny situation that I think is probably going to be one of those things that just it's going to happen a lot more moving forward as USL gets bigger, it evolves, it matures, and this sort of thing I think is going to become a little bit more commonplace. So I just like to walk us through a little bit of that, but not until after we get a little sense of who you are. and what you're all about. So let's start with, I do this rapid fire thing at the end of interviews, but we're going to do a little mini rapid fire, preliminary mini rapid fire right now to give people
Bring it on.
yeah, a little sense of who you are with some random questions. So I will start with some real softballs here. Number
Okay.
one, favorite food.
Steak. Oh yeah, I'm full medium rare, ribeye, bone-in type guy. That's me.
Okay, not medium rare plus, or not any of the little fancy things that they do sometimes.
If it's still mooing, that's good with me.
Okay, you're okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Favorite movie.
Ah, gosh, I'd say The Patriot. Mel Gibson.
Really? Okay,
Uh-huh.
interesting.
Classic.
What's the? How am I blanking on that guy's name? Who's the lead actor?
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Are you big like? So did you watch all of his? Sort he's done that role like what 3 or 4 different times, right?
Yeah, all those war movies. I don't know. I
Braveheart.
think
Braveheart. That was
yeah,
one.
another classic. Patriot was the first one. I think I was like 11 or 12, and my dad let me watch it. My mom was probably not too happy with that, the bloody gory. But no, I love that one. It's a classic American history lesson right there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're a history buff too. We just get a little added
A little
bonus.
bit here
Okay.
and there.
All right. Do you have any pregame rituals or even superstitions?
No, I'm not a real superstitious guy, but I think one of the things that everybody kind of like, I don't know, sets me apart is I tie my shoelaces around my ankles. So if you ever see a photo of me or see me playing, the laces are always around my ankles, and I've always done it ever since I was a little kid.
Is there a reason for it? It's just you had laces that were too long?
I used to wear the copas, and the laces were so long, and my dad would always wrap them around my ankles. That's how he did it, and so I just always stuck with doing it. And my college coach, when I got there, he was like, "You're gonna break your ankle. You got to stop doing that." I was like, "I think I'd change them for one day and then change them back the next." Like I can't do it.
Too late. Too late to change now. You
My
feel like it's
thing.
one of those things where you'd take your ankle would break if you didn't have it on there. Like there
I
was
don't
wasn't
know.
there like an old school oh god, the guy who wrote The Birds, he wrote all those horror kind of mini horror short stories, and like there was the woman who had like a band around her neck, a ribbon around her neck, and she finally took it off and her like head fell off.
Yeah, more. I don't know. I think I'd like to think I have a little more ankle strength than that, but I'm not gonna change it to find out. So maybe we'll never know.
True. The brain and the ankles, though, because it might be in your mind. And if you
Right.
start
Hey.
worrying about it, then it'd be a problem. Okay. Now, do you have a significant other? And if so, how did you meet?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend. I met her in Nashville through a friend of through my teammate Patrick Segrist. His girlfriend connected us, and so she still lives in Nashville, comes to visit Tulsa every now and then. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
she's
You mentioned the heat and the humidity of Tulsa. Best thing, this probably won't fall under that category. Best thing about living in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
best thing, honestly. Just life is a little more chill here. It moves a little slower. Get to go play golf, 18 holes whenever I want. And I like it. The people, everyone's kind. The worst thing is the drivers are so slow. It's unbelievable. But no, Tulsa's it's a chill place. Life moves a little slower, and happy to be here.
Okay. Now, this is an important question, maybe the most important one I'll ask you all day here. Why in the world did you shave that beautiful, luscious mullet that you had going?
Oh, honestly, just because it was so hot, and the mullet was my thing, man. I want to give a shout out to Antoine Hopino. He's the one who first brought it out in the USL. And I was like, man, I have my long hair. I was like, what if I did a mullet? And I brought it out and I scored 2 goals the next game and then scored again. And I was like, I can't shave it now. And brought it back this season. But yeah, a lot of people have been disappointed in
Yeah,
me cutting it off. But
that's an
uh,
incredible calling card. You got to now. I understand the heat. I can
sticking to the
understand that.
back of my neck.
Yeah, that I can imagine that would be just terrible. But you got to bring it back. You still got to bring it back.
One day it'll be back. No,
Okay.
don't worry. I
All right.
guarantee that.
Now you were drafted by Falcons FC. Everybody's got a draft story. So what's your draft story?
Gosh, mine's a little crazy. So I was totally expecting to be picked in the first two rounds. This is back when the draft had rounds, the fourth round still in it, and the first two were like on a Friday. The third and fourth were on a Sunday. Didn't get picked in the first two, and I was like, "Wow, that's shocking." Spoke with my agent, and he said, "Okay, there's a few USL teams who want to sign you. Like, would you be interested?" I was like, "Yeah, let's have those conversations." And I guess Atlanta get that call that, hey, Phillip might go sign a USL deal. And immediately my phone rings with a number from Atlanta. And I was like, who is this? Stephen Glass, the head coach of the second team at the time. And he's like, don't sign anything. We're going to pick you on Sunday. Like, we'll give you an Atlanta 2 deal right now if you want it, blah, blah, blah. And my agent calls me. He's like, Atlanta are going to pick you. And so I said, great. And then the next day I get a call. They want you to drive down today. It's like, they haven't picked me yet. And he was like, they have CONCACAF Champions League starting up in a few weeks. They've already started preseason, want you down. And so I packed up my car. I drove all the way down Charlotte to Atlanta. And I said, man, I hope nobody else picks me in this draft because there were a few picks before Atlanta. And I was literally sitting in the locker room while the guys were coming back in from lift. And everyone's like, "Oh, I didn't know he signed you. Like, welcome, man." I was like, "Actually, I haven't yet. Like, I'm supposed to get drafted in like 15 minutes." And then the like Bobby Blair, who's the assistant GM, comes down. He's like, "Hey, I got to go up. We got to go do the draft thing and pick you. Like, I'll text you when we get you." I was like, "Okay, great." And I'm sitting in there with everybody, like coming in from training, waiting for my name to be like picked or called out, and get a text like, "We got you. Don't worry." It's like finally, but that was my draft story. It's
That's
pretty interesting.
definitely a unique one, you know?
Yeah, it was.
So no celebrations at all? You basically were right back to soccer.
No celebrations. I mean, it was had some moment as an American kid, like I've always dreamt of. And I was like, that was my goal in college. Hey, I want to come here and go to UNC Wilmington, which is a mid-major school, and go get drafted. And I was fortunate enough for it to work out. And yeah, that was a dream come true. Really cool experience.
So, if you weren't drafted, if you weren't playing soccer right now, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be selling insurance or selling something. I got a business finance degree. I actually graduated from my MBA program
Okay.
this summer. And so, man, I'm like a kind of eat what you kill type of guy. Like I want to go out there and get things done. So I'd definitely be a salesman to some extent.
Okay. That means you got a little slickness to you. So I got to keep an eye on you. Okay. All
There you
right.
go.
Fair enough. Now this will tie in with our next topic. But if you could snap your fingers right now and be playing for any club in the league, in any club in any league in the world, say 2 years from now, not right now, a couple years down, and say 2 years, where would it be?
It'll be Liverpool. I mean, just in the EPL. EPL is just something crazy, man. That would be an absolute dream come true. And just going over, I've been to Anfield, I've watched a game there, and the atmosphere is incredible. So much respect for that club, and yeah, that's an easy one for me.
Okay, fair. That's the kind of answer we were looking for right there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now let's talk about how things went down with Memphis 901. So you signed. Correct me. I'll probably get some, if not all, this wrong. But you signed a 1-year deal in 2022 with a club option for
Yeah.
2023. It's obviously a very common contract in USL and MLS. In fact, you killed it in 2022. I said it at the top. You scored 21 goals, second best in the league. This is where things get just a little bit thorny. So based on that performance, there were some offers that came in. Some clubs were interested in some bigger clubs were interested in signing you. I think MLS, maybe Europe, but Memphis said no and picked up your club option, and that's as far as I know. Like, give us sort of what can you tell us about actually how it went down?
So last year, team in general had a great season in Memphis. I got brought in to Memphis from free agency after I got released by Atlanta. by Ben Pierman, and who's now at Charleston. And he brought me in with a great group of guys. We performed, scored 21 regular season goals, added a few more stats in the postseason. And then I think it was the week before our second round playoff game versus Tampa, my agent gives me a call and just says there's an MLS team that wants to bring you in. And I was like, wow, because not many guys make the direct jump USL to MLS. It's not as common. And now with the second teams in MLS Next Pro, it's even more uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that would be a dream come true. Like, I don't care what team it is, anybody, if there's a team interested, like, let's get it done. And did have a club option. Memphis had already told me they were picking it up. And, I talked to the front office at that time. My agent did as well. They said, let's wait till the postseason's over and then we'll have these conversations. And my postseason meeting, the president sat down. He's like, look, under no circumstances will we be selling you. Under no circumstances will we, like solicit to any offers or listen to any. And I was like, well, like that's fine with you guys. If you have to make that decision, like fair enough, but I have to go make some personal decisions in my life. Like if I want to keep doing this. And, I was really just disappointed and frustrated. And I think maybe, a few weeks later, this team actually started making like an offer, and Memphis, they couldn't come to a number. Memphis was asking for something big and the team wasn't willing to pay that. And so, that's how it goes. And so I was very disappointed. And then I think a few weeks later, a team from Sweden, top division Sweden, comes over and is willing to work and get to a transfer fee that works. And, I'd already agreed personal terms, and another dream come true. An American kid, 25, have the opportunity to go play in a first division in Europe. And I was like, done. Just tell me where I sign. Let's get it done. And there was just like non-responsiveness from Memphis. And again, they wouldn't kind of budge on the number that they wanted. And so, hey, I credit to them. They wanted me to come back for that last year. And, I think they understood my situation, but at the end of the day, we couldn't come to something that worked. And so both of those opportunities went away, and I was back in Memphis. Yeah. That's the
long and the short of it. I mean, obviously you just sort of had, ambitions, and you still have ambitions, right? I mean, it's not like 100%. These deals are going away, right? You still, ideally, you keep scoring goals. There's still going to be teams interested. And at the end of the day, Memphis in a way is kind of paying you a compliment, right? By saying, no, we want you here and we want your goals, and we're willing to forego whatever the amount that they were, the Swedish club and the MLS club, we're willing to forego that just to have you here, because they're going to have to lose you for free at the end of the season, right?
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I'm not shitting on Memphis at all, and I know you're not trying to either. It's just it's basically a business decision here. But did that impact your relationship with the club?
Yeah, 100%. It was just, when you work your whole life and have that opportunity finally in front of you, I think it's tough to, just be told no, like you can't do it. And, hey, that happens to footballers at every level. And it's something you just got to get past and look forward to the future. But yeah, it did. I think especially with the new staff in there, the coach who brought me in left. And the new staff came in, they were great and they helped me out. And then at the end of the day, I just got the call that, hey, you've been traded to Tulsa. And so I was like, that is what it is. And I've been in Tulsa ever since. And honestly, just so happy to be here. We're having a blast. The guys here are great. One of your good friends, Tommy McCabe, also got traded here, and they're having fun. We're on a 5-game winning streak, so life is good.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in just a second. I got to call a quick timeout, though. You mentioned MLS club. You mentioned Swedish club. Can you give us any names here?
I can give them to you. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but yeah, I mean, Sporting Kansas City was the MLS club, and then Meowby AIF was the Swedish club, and
I've heard
so
of
those are
them.
the two. Yeah, and so they're two great clubs, and they're interested, and I was like, yeah, let's go for it. I'll be thrilled to join either. But yeah, those are the two.
Okay. Now, if you could go back, I know that you did like a real sort of short interview. I think it was with like a TV, local TV or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And did you get some blowback for that? Because on the interview, you basically said, yeah, I wanted to leave, and they wouldn't let me. And I get it; it's a business decision, and I'm here now, so I'm going to play. But like, yeah, I think used the word devastated, if I'm not mistaken. Did you get some blowback on that?
I did get a little bit of blowback from that. And I called my agent before the interview at the time and I said, hey, like if I get asked a direct question, I'm gonna answer honestly. And I got asked, hey, after such a successful year last year, how does it feel to be back in Memphis? And I told him like, hey, I had the opportunity to leave this offseason. First off, I was very surprised that Memphis allowed me to do an interview. They just told me, hey, we got the interview today. I said, okay.
Did they not
And
understand like how kind of pissed off you were about it, or like?
I think I don't know. I just think nobody thought of it or it didn't go high enough up or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just told him, I said, look, I had offers to go to a team in Europe and a team in MLS this off season, and Memphis held me back from that. And so I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't devastated to come back here. And I think if I could go back, I would have changed that word a little more, that wording. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I was still very frustrated at that point. And I was asked a direct question. I gave a completely honest answer. And some people might think that's not very professional to do that, but I think if you ask any of the guys who played with me or against me, like I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm completely honest, and that's how I felt. And then it kind of blew up on Twitter the next day, as I was kind of expecting, and the club, brought the team together and said they were pretty disappointed that I said that, and then you know. Uh,
How'd the
uh,
guys react? Were they because I can understand like like an ownership level type people being like, man, that's fucked up that you would say like, but whereas teammates, they would be like, as long as you're busting your ass out there, like I don't
yeah,
care. I
the
but
guys.
yeah, what did you get? Did you get any sort of sideways glances from the guys or anything?
No, it was completely the opposite. All the guys knew my situation in the off season, and a few guys had, some kind of similar situations, and I think they were like, yes, finally. And so, but at the same time, like everybody knows, hey, when we step over those white lines and we go on the field, like it's business time, and I understood that. They understood that, but no, I don't think there's not a single negative look or word from the teammates, and I really appreciated that. But and then the Twitter warriors kind of got behind me and were like, "Come on, let our American kids go and pursue higher options abroad." But yeah, at the end of the day, like, look, they made a business decision. I made a business decision in that interview, and I don't regret it, and I don't think they regret not transferring me now. So all the best to them, and no hard feelings.
Okay. Have you had a talk at all with Tulsa, FC Tulsa management about, sort of your ambitions and goals after the season?
Yeah, I have, and credit to FC Tulsa. They are like, we do not want to bring you here to hold you back from an opportunity if one arises again. But at the same time, like if you do want to stay here, stay in USL, like we would love to have you. And so honestly, I love playing for FC Tulsa. And that's not just like me, like PR, putting the hat on, just saying what I need to say. I genuinely love it here. I'm playing for this club. At the same time, I'm 26 now, and if the opportunity to jump to Europe, MLS is going to happen, it's probably going to happen this off season. As I'm a free agent, and
Hmm.
so I'd love to pursue that. And if not, I think there's a good chance there's a future for me in Tulsa.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like a good situation then. All's
Yeah.
well that ends well at this point.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Do do you still get like do you like text your agent like every, I don't know, a few days, be like, have you heard anything from, any clubs? Do you like get like an update on that at all?
No, I'm just kind of like focused on the here and now and let him deal with all the backroom stuff. So if there's something that's gonna happen, that would be fantastic. But I don't want to be going to bed every night, be like, man, this person said they like me, or man, this person said
Yeah.
such.
It could just be like a little ego boost though, like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
true. That's true. But no, I'm not too worried about it. I'm more so worried about scoring goals and keeping this little win streak alive that we've got going.
That's exactly it. I'll go to rapid fire right now because that's the perfect segue into it. So, Tulsa started the season with 3 wins in 17 games. The first 17 games, 3 wins. And now you've won 5 in a row. So what's happening here? What's the secret? Is it you and Tommy?
It's Tommy McCabe. That's the secret.
You
Oh,
don't have to
but
be that nice to him. Gosh.
no, he is a big part of it though, man. Honestly, like this group, we just needed a mindset shift. We needed a little bit of a change, and I came in, and it's always like I'd never been traded or transferred before. So when I was mid-season, I was a little shell shocked at first, but I think if you ever watched an FC Tulsa game recently, you've seen that these boys we mesh well. We're just having fun. And so it took a little bit more belief from us. We struggled. The team struggled at the beginning of the season, and then when I first got here, we still struggled. And but recently, like we found our groove, man, and we're just out there having fun, scoring goals, guys blocking shots. Everybody's doing their job, and then yeah, if you get a chance to look on Instagram, I think we might have the most fun out of any team in this league as well. Like the locker room celebrations, just like celebrations when we score, the team getting together. It's such a good vibe. It's awesome.
Okay. All right. I like it. Well, you mentioned celebrations. This is not specific to this season. Could be anytime. What's your favorite goal celebration?
And a knee slide. There's nothing like a good knee slide on a wet grass field.
I was gonna
I think
say, if you, it's dangerous. You can screw
it
that up
is.
kind of easily.
You could mess it, especially on a baseball field somewhere. But no, we played with Memphis this year in the Open Cup. We beat Atlanta United at Atlanta, or Falcons FC.
Falcons FC. There you go.
And I scored a PK in like stoppage time, did a knee slide, and I watched it back. I was like, man, I slid for really far. This
Like that Geico commercial going around.
Don't even need to watch the goal; just watch the knee slide.
Put that one in the highlight reel for sure.
Exactly.
We gotta. I haven't put enough thought into this, but we got to get like a. Can we get like a Sam Fam celebration? Something. I don't know. It's got to be something specific to Sam Fam. That's where my brain is not very good at this. But I'll have to think about this. If we come up with a good one, can we get one? At so you score so many goals. It's like
Yeah.
you can do that. It's not like one of these things where like Tim Parker. Like no, I shouldn't say that because like he scored
Legend. He
3 goals.
headers, man.
He does. He scored 3 goals already this season. But I didn't want to ask him to like do like a special celebration for us because he's a defender, and then you just keep scoring goals. So shout out to Timmy for that. But for you score 1,000,000 goals. So I figured, what, maybe we get a special Sam Fam celebration at some point.
If you come up with it, I'll make it happen.
All right, I'm going to open that up to the people and get one from them because the brain power of the people is way better than me.
Hit the DMs with your goal, Sam Fam goal celebrations.
Exactly. Okay, I like it. Moving in the right direction here. Now, how pissed? Be honest here. How pissed were you when you played Memphis soon after making the move from Memphis to Tulsa? So you're in Tulsa, you go back to Memphis with Tulsa, and you guys got your ass kicked. How pissed off were you after that?
Absolutely waxed. That was probably the most disappointed I've ever been after a game. And it wasn't just like I don't think I played well. I don't think I played bad. It was just we just got absolutely dominated, and it was an off night from our team, and they were on, and they had the fans chanting "devastated," and it was pretty like heartbreaking for me to go there and just get absolutely handed to me. That's football, man. What are you gonna do? But yeah, that one hurt. But ever since that game is when our win streak started. And so, you when you're at the very bottom, because we were rock bottom then, like that's when you got to make the decision to climb out of it, or just sit down there. And so, but to answer your question, yeah, that one hurt
That
bad.
sucks. And the fans were on you and everything. That's
Oh yeah, every time I touch the ball. But I love that. It is what it is.
yeah.
It's all good banter.
It's almost did you almost kind of like love the Memphis fans a little bit more because of that, given sort of just the passion for the game and obviously
Exactly. No,
sticking it to you.
they're great people. Those fans, like they come out there in that hot, humid Memphis heat, and they're there every game. And so credit to them. If I was in their shoes, I'd probably do the same damn thing, have a few beers. But
Yeah.
no, that was a rough game, dude.
Yeah, sorry to bring that back up.
I don't like to think about that one.
I know that was kind of mean to me. All right, so you mentioned you had some feelers from MLS clubs. So ideally, we'll see you in MLS before too long. So in your mind, and this is the last question. So obviously, think about it hard.
Mhm.
Who's going to finish their career with more MLS goals, you or Messi?
Definitely messy. Definitely messy. There's, I mean,
Is that
that's
just because
like
he's going to score like 60 this,
that's
when
not
he,
apples to apples. This man's the goat. And if you watched last night, I mean, come on. I would love to even be considered at the bottom of that conversation, but I don't think it's up there, If
now
I
I
can,
say that because he might only play for 2-3 years, and who knows
yeah,
how long
well,
you'll go.
I'm still gonna give that one to Messi, but I would love to go out there and get a few. So fingers crossed, maybe one day that move happens and I can even get on the same field as him, but we'll see. I would still give that one to Messi though.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Keep that in mind, MLS execs. You got a guy here. He's ready to go. He's humble. That's what your answer is. You're humble. You're not going to say you're going to have more goals than MLS goals than Messi. I was gonna roast you if you went that way. So you went.
No, no, I don't. I believe in my abilities. I don't know about that much though.
That's fair enough. I mean, he's got 12 league games left this season. He might, set some records just in those, 12 games, let alone, next
There's
season.
there's anyone who can get that group to the playoffs, into the playoffs, it's him. And so it's fun to watch though now, man.
I'm just happy. Yeah, I'm just happy we get to watch him. Even though the New Yorker told me that I should be sad about watching Messi in MLS. Fuck off, New Yorker. No, that's all we got. Phillip, thank you, man. I appreciate your honesty, and I know we've been talking about doing this for a little while.
Mhm.
I just it's cool. You obviously had sort of I don't know if bump in the road or just a hiccup, but obviously the business side of things is just tough sometimes. It's
Yeah.
soccer at your level is not just soccer, it's soccer and business. So I'm glad you made it out alive and still basically scoring goals left and right. So we will be following you as part of Sam Fam. We will get that Sam Fam celebration. We'll get that worked out. But no, congratulations and keep doing what you're doing and onwards and literally upwards.
Sir, you got it. Thanks for having me on. This has been a blast.
Appreciate it.